Today I'm going to talk to you about how to function with the e-bake control on our units. So I'm first going to talk to you about manual mode, and then I'll kind of teach you guys how to set up programs. So you can tell we're on manual mode because it says manual on the top there. So the first thing I'm going to do is set the temperature. So let's say, for instance, I need 375 degrees. I will go up. It's too slow. I will go up and I will set my temperature using the up and down arrows to 375 degrees. If I need things to go a little bit faster, I can hold down the button and it'll move a little bit faster. So when I'm setting my temperature, it's going to tell me my temperature is low. Then once it gets up to temperature, it's going to beep at me and it's going to say ready, which it will probably do during the course of this video. So if you were to use this oven in manual mode, we've already done the temperature feature. Now I'm going to move on to fan. So this is going to ask you if you would like your low fan speed or if you would like standard fan speed. So on low speed, I'm doing products like muffins, cookies, cupcakes, delicate kind of products like that need a little bit less airflow so that they don't blow over or overbake on the outside before they do on the inside. High fan I'm using for things, heavy things like breads, like any type of rolls, things like that I'm using the standard function for. So after you select your fan speed, it's going to immediately ask you what type of fan cycle you would like. So if you select medium fan cycle, the fan is going to rotate in one direction for 1.5 minutes, stop for 25 seconds, and rotate the other direction for 1.5 minutes. The standard fan is going to rotate for 2.5 minutes in one direction, stop for 25 seconds, and rotate in the other direction for 2.5 minutes. So I just kind of judge which fan cycle I'm going to need based on my product. If I have a shorter baking time product, like a 9-minute product or a 10-minute product, I use the medium fan cycle because it'll rotate more throughout that entire process. If I'm doing something that's maybe a 20-minute long bake or more than that, I'll use the standard fan cycle because it'll rotate more than enough in that amount of time. Here is where I'm going to set my time. So I can go up and down, same kind of concept as holding my finger, and it will go faster. So let's set it to this time right here. So it's not going to start, that's just going to set your timer. When you want to start your time, you're going to press this button right here. So if any time throughout the baking process you want to add more time, I'm going to go to this button right here, and I can adjust my time as necessary. Once that timer is done, it's going to beep at me, and then I'm going to press this button to end it. So right now, if I press the button during the bake, it will pause my time for me. And if I want to end my timer completely, I will hold the button down until it goes away. And now my timer is gone. So at the end of the bake, we'll do a little demo here. If I would like to add time, I'm going to use this button and it's going to add in minute intervals. So once this ends, we'll show you how that works. Okay, so now I want to add 2 minutes. So I'm going to press this timer and I'm going to add 4 minutes onto that. So now I want to end my timer. And it's done. This button right here during the manual mode is going to see if I want a fan delay. So we have a none option, low option, and high option. So if I would like a low fan delay, it's going to tell me that it's activating the fan delay feature. So now my fan on low is going to delay for 3 minutes, and on high it's going to delay for 5 minutes. So why would I need that? If I'm making cupcakes, if I'm making muffins, if I'm making French macaroons, if I'm making meringues, anything that is a very delicate product that I want to set up first before I have the fan going, that's what I would use this for. So for instance, with the cupcakes, I can let them form their peaks before the fan starts going so that they are not blown in one direction, left or right. They're completely straight up and down all around. So that's the fan delay function. So I'll turn that off simply by pressing that right there. So now I'm going to go over the steam function. So this right here, if I press this right now during manual mode, it's going to give a 10-second shot of steam. And now if I press the pulse function, it's going to give me a 15 milliliters of water every 30 seconds. So if I press this button, it's going to start activating that, and until I press that button again, it is going to continually pulse steam every 30 seconds. So I'm going to deactivate it by pressing it. The shot steam will deactivate itself because you're only pressing it when you need it. And also after this shot steam, so it's gonna put an initial 10 seconds of steam, it's going to automatically delay the fan for 30 seconds. And the reason for that is if you're making artisan bread and you're putting a shot of steam in there, if you immediately activate the fan, the water that you just put in there is going to blow everywhere except for onto your bread. So that delay of the fan will help the water soak into the top and help you achieve your crust later on in the baking. So this button right here is the cool down button. So if I press this button, it is going to rapidly start to drop the temperature. So this is good for if you need to drop your temperature from 500 to 200 degrees very quickly. This button will do that for you. And I deactivate it by just pressing it again. This light button is going to control the light in the oven. And now we're going to start getting into recipes. This button right here is for, I'm using a rotating rack oven, so this oven would stop your rack at the next rotation. This is not applicable to your oven. So this power button too, if I hold it, it will turn off my power. This is going to be the main power switch down here, so I can turn that oven off and on again. This down here is a USB port for if you need to load recipes, which is what we're going to get into right now. So if I would like to set a recipe, I'm going to click my chef hat. So I have a couple programs here already here, French bread, bagel, muffins. So let's go into bagel. So what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to edit my name, and it's very easy, just go up and down with the letters. And then you're just going to press OK, do the same thing, press OK, and then when you're done, you're going to press the program button. So now my preheat stage. This would be if I want to enable it, I press yes. So if I want to set my temperature to say I want to bake at 350 degrees, I can set my preheat temperature to 375 to compensate for the time that I'm opening the door, and then immediately when I close the door and the program starts, it'll drop back down to 350 degrees. So I have my preheat enabled there. Now I'm going to start my stage 1 of baking. So the reason you might need a couple different stages of baking is, say you're making a roast chicken and you would like to start the temperature as high as 450, 425, just kind of seal that crust in. But then you want to drop down the temperature to 350 degrees for baking. Instead of having to come over and manually do that myself, I can set up the stages so that it'll automatically do that throughout the entire process. So in my stage 1 right here, I can set my cook time up and down. I can set my temperature. And it'll ask me if I want steam. Do I want steam? Let's say, for instance, yes. So do I want a shot of steam in the beginning of this stage of baking? Let's say yes, I do. It's going to ask you if you want low or high. Now, if you want a low shot steam, it's going to be 100 milliliters of water. If you would like a high shot of steam, it's going to be 120 milliliters of water. So then it's going to ask you for a delay. So before I was talking about the 30 seconds of fan delay that it automatically gave you when you press this in manual mode. Here's where you can set that. You can set it to 30 seconds, 1 minute, so that it'll delay the fan immediately after you give that shot steam. Then it's going to ask you for your fan speed, low or standard. Your fan delay, would you like one? Your fan cycle type, like we talked about before. And then now I'll show you the pulse steam features in this stage. So I'm going to say yes. I want pulse steam. So do I want high, medium, or standard pulse steam? So standard pulse steam is going to give you 15 milliliters every 30 seconds. High pulse steam is going to give you 15 milliliters every 20 seconds. And medium pulse steam is going to give you 15 milliliters every 15 seconds. So I'll select what I like, go through all the motions. And as you've noticed, it gives me a stage 3 even though I haven't set it up. So basically it's just giving you the option for a third stage. If you put nothing in here, nothing will happen. It's just giving you the ability to add a stage if you would like. So there is nothing in there. Then it's going to alarm and you've completed your stage and press exit. So now to exit out of that, you're just going to press the chef hat. So if now I want to find my bagel program, I do not need to go in the chef hat. This is simply for programming. I'm going to press down, find my bagel, Press OK, and now it's going to say bagel, and it's going to come up to temp when it's ready. And now that timer is automatically going to start all of those functions. It's telling you that it's enacting the shot steam that I put in that recipe as well. If I would like to end the recipe, I hold on the timer button, and it goes away. And it's ready to go again.